Hey, I got these truthburgers, man. Want some?
No,
You can't handle the truth.
I just want to be in my safe space.
For the past few years, it's been pretty apparent that society has been obsessed with trying to tear down anything that resembles conventional masculinity, whether it be shaving products produced from men telling us to check our
Toxic masculinity.
Is this the best a man can get?
Smile, sweetie.
Come on.
To say the right thing, to act the right way.
Bro, not cool, not cool.
Cock-blocking motherfucker.
or the mighty US Army trying to entice potential enlistees with commercials about Emma and her two mommies.
It begins in California with a little girl raised by two moms. I like to think I've been defending freedom from an early age. I finished high school at the top of my class, then attended UC Davis, where I joined a sorority full of other strong women.
This show sucks.
Yeah, horrible. Change the channel, buddy. Come on, right now.
We so fucked if World War III ever breaks out, dude. The point is pretty obvious. Men plus masculinity equals bad. But when Ollie and I got down into specifics, we found that one group has taken more hits to their masculinity than others. Which brings us to Hollywood's weird fascination with emasculating black men.
You don't think you actually still have a dick anymore, do you?
Come on, man. Of course I got a dick.
The minute you put that dress on, dick goes away.
For all the phony preaching on equality and representation that woke Hollywood likes to shit out, they sure do come off as hypocrites. This video will explore some of the common stereotypical roles that black men have predominantly been cast in. And we're not saying that these roles aren't reminiscent of real people or that there's anything wrong with them, but when you notice a strange trend, you can only go for so long before someone brave enough stands up and politely says,
What the fuck is this?
We'll also be looking at how past entertainment many times did it better, but also fucked up by perpetuating these stereotypes.
Dynamite!
How dare you, bro?
We will never forgive you.
You tell him, Greta. Hollywood is the reason why we ended racism. Where would the black man be without the great leadership of liberal Hollywood? I believe it was Martin Luther King Jr. who delivered his I Have a Dream speech next to a billboard advertising moonlight. It was Malcolm X who decided to fight for black America's rights after attending an anti-racism lecture delivered by a brave white feminist in a liberal arts college in Buffalo, New York. It was Tupac who got inspired to write Brenda's Got a Baby after he sat next to a beautiful trans woman on the New York City subway. Fuck is wrong with you, Aiden?
You're right. Thank God we have Hollywood. They single-handedly ended racism by being brave enough to put a black man in drag.
Sometimes you just gotta get some thrills in your life. Just do crazy stuff.
Stunning. She is absolutely beautiful and an inspiration. Yep, that's right.
God, that's so empowering. That took guts. I can only imagine where we would be as a society without white liberals taking the stand to stop all this madness. The war in Ukraine wouldn't even have happened if white liberals just had the chance to sing John Lennon's Imagine at the Ukrainian border. It would have moved Putin to tears, as he would have realized all he needs to do is attend lectures against toxic masculinity.
God bless them all, our Starbucks coffee-fueled liberals.
And without further ado, here is how Hollywood attempts to emasculate black men. So grab the hand of the person next to you and let us lay judgment.
In the name of Jesus.
Oh, thank you, Jesus.
I execute judgment on you.
Seriously?
Look at this dumbass thing.
Part of Hollywood's diversity and representation plan entails making black men into jesters and clowns. More often than not, this character is neutralized of any seriousness, stupidly used to lighten the mood, and they tend to come in the form of a supporting character. Their personality serves as a contrast to the lead actor, who's usually the stoic badass leader type, which in today's day and age tends to be a female.
Take the Tesseract, leave the lunchbox.
Me?
Yes.
I'm not touching that thing.
You want me to get you an oven mitt?
See, just like with white straight male characters, woke Hollywood doesn't want a conventionally masculine black or brown character either. Badass characters like Apollo Creed and Dylan, portrayed by Carl Weathers, fuck that. Hollywood prefers this.
I need you to focus because the plan is still on.
Wait, you're leaving?
Hold fast. Stay out of their way.
In the backseat. Michael Myers is in the backseat. Go look.
Go look. Hell no.
What's wrong with you?
It's almost to say that a black man is too aggressive if he is ever a masculine alpha male, so they must make him into some goofy, harmless, and scared pussy. And you can literally blindfold yourself and find an example of this in too many movies and shows. Take Halloween Kills for example. In this shit film, we got the stereotypical black supporting character of Marcus, a very weak and goofy addition to the cast. For the life of me, I cannot see any purpose for his existence, besides being there for a couple of laughs at his expense.
Now we have lovely Miss Lindsay Wallace. No respect at all.
When he isn't a joke, he comes off as a pussy.
You need to start standing up for yourself in these situations.
Yeah, no, that's right. You're right. No, stand up for myself. I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna quit that
punch
job.
Dr. Mathis in the face.
Yep, punch him in the face.
Champagne. Okay.
I'm a doctor. My husband's a nurse.
I should have guessed.
Of course he is. Well, at least he dies in heroic fashion. Well, at least his black wife gets honored like a white woman would.
Unbelievable!
Oh, fuck it.
It's truly the most diverse superhero film we've ever seen before.
It was the diversity.
For so long, we've seen superheroes that have looked like a small percentage of the world. This superhero team looks like the world.
So what I love about being a part of this universe is the diversity and the inclusion.
And who could forget The Eternals, a film which perfectly represents a diverse cast that includes the character of Phastos, a brilliant mind who comes up with some of the greatest inventions humanity has ever seen, and he gets startled by a bag of chips.
Oh God! Stay calm, T, please. Chips. It's just chips.
What exactly was the point of this scene besides making another black character into a goof? We got a genius here getting shaken up by a bag popping. Would they have done this pathetic scene with this stoic ass woman?
You've never had to fight me.
But I've always wanted to.
Don't think so. But black characters are put in corny scenes no matter how brilliant they're supposed to be. Can't do the same with the strong white female leads, huh? Nope, they are the kings. The black characters are the jesters.
If you were real OGs and watched our Fear Street review, we get the same exact themes with Josh and Martin. Despite both having different personalities, they are equal in their dim-witted moments. While the female characters are smart and clearly the leaders, Martin and Josh are constantly made into beta males and clowns. Thank God Wesley Snipes was spared from this in Blade. If it was filmed in 2023, you'd have this man trip on a banana peel while fighting vampires as the new female Blade lead shakes her head in amusement.
Can I speak with you?
Let's get Clem settled in.
Vel.
The posts on the corral are down again. Now, unless you two want to be chasing animals all day, I'd get out there now. Okay? Let's get to it.
Ah, yes. What would today's black men do without the guidance of minority-friendly white liberal women? See, according to films, black men are not capable of leading without the manly hand of strong white woman.
I am a strong woman, all right?
We see this in movies like The Nightingale, the story of an Irish servant named Claire who seeks revenge against the members of a British colonial force who killed her servant, husband, and baby girl. She befriends a Aboriginal tracker named Billy and uses him to hunt the men down. Throughout the journey, Billy displays signs of displeasement, fear, and reluctantly obeys Claire's orders despite her belittling him by constantly calling him boy.
Welcome to the world, boy. Full of misery from top to bottom.
I'm not your boy. I'm just a sexy boy.
That's a pretty derogatory term, given that this film is set in 19th century Australia. Meanwhile, Claire's direct, fearless, and sharp. The height of Billy's emasculation is when Claire kills one of the men responsible for her family's murder, and Billy all but quits on her for doing so.
Boy. Boy. boy.
Will you stop calling me boy?
The film is basically Claire being masculine, as Billy, the minority supporting character, is feminine. He's a follower and she's a leader. Despite all of this, the two build a bond due to the tragic lives they have led.
What the fuck you talking about, man?
While not a Hollywood-produced film, The Nightingale shares that white women were always allies to minorities, revisionist history bullshit that Hollywood movies have dabbled in a few times. The movie is set in the fucking 1800s. White women weren't an oppressed group that fought alongside minorities. In fact, they took part in the discrimination that they faced, especially against black men.
Somehow, white women swung their Gucci-booted feet over the fence of oppression and stuck themselves at the front of the line.
Claire suffered a traumatic experience, no doubt, but Billy's homeland, his identity, his entire existence was taken away from him. He's not even looked at as a human. This is not a knock on all the white women, but films today keep pushing this agenda of white liberal feminists being allies to black men due to similar suffering and discrimination. That shit is as realistic as North Korea hosting the Academy Awards. God, I hope so.
You've also got Wakanda Forever, a movie in which Disney not only refused to recast the role of T'Challa after the untimely passing of Chadwick Boseman, but also refused to make another man the new Black Panther in favor of T'Challa's 90-pound sister Shuri. These heartless fucks literally used his tragic death to push the message that women suffer more. Where have we heard that from before? Why couldn't M'Baku's character be the new Black Panther and lead Wakanda? Instead, we get him bending the knee and submitting to Shuri.
They're cutting off his penis in there.
And don't get me started on The Woman King. It's literally a movie where black men take the backseat to the more capable and skilled, strong black women who fight on their behalf. Both movies emasculate black men while pushing the feminist narrative of supporting the matriarchy.
Heroes of the Ome, behold, the bravest of the brave, appointed by King Gezo, Naninska, the Woman King.
Head motherfucker.
And what's with the lack of men in these two movies? Seriously, there were more black guys in that old movie our single mom starred in back in the days. Damn!
I'm sure you've noticed that Lando has feelings for me, which makes working together difficult because I do not feel the same way about him. Sometimes I think, maybe.
How would that work?
It works.
And no, we're not saying there's no such thing as a gay black person. I mean, you've got Lori Lightfoot, Andrew Gillum, Lil Nas X. But again, when you see a trend in movies over and over again, you gotta call that shit out.
In today's Hollywood, themes exploring and exploiting the sexuality of black men keep being pushed front and center. Take 2016's Moonlight, which won the Academy Award for Best Picture. It's a story that's centered on a gay black kid growing up in the hood who struggles to accept his own sexuality. In the movie, Chiron, the main character, battles homophobia from bullies and even his own mother. Pivotal moments in Chiron's life include his sexual encounter with his friend Kevin, his stint in jail after beating a classmate with a chair, and eventually accepting his sexuality as an adult after reconciling with his mother and Kevin at the end of the movie.
You're the only man that's ever touched me. You're the only one. I haven't really touched anyone since.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
We're not saying this is a terrible film, but it won Best Picture, and it's not because it's a film about the economic and social struggles that minorities face growing up in the hood. There have been plenty of great movies that explored those aspects and won little to no awards. It won because of liberal Hollywood's obsession with exploiting black men and their sexuality. It's a theme that's so important important in today's Hollywood that they make it seem like most black men are gay. There have been so many movies about the challenges minorities face growing up in the hood, or black men who excelled despite the perils they faced. But you make one movie about a gay black kid in the hood and it wins countless awards. You would think Moonlight was the first movie to ever put black people on screen.
And we see similar wild curveballs thrown around movies like 2021's Candyman with Troy Cartwright, Brianna's brother.
You guys want to hear a scary story? Is my rosé still in the freezer?
We also see this with True Blood's Lafayette Reynolds, a dude who is 97% straight black masculine man, but the other 3% of the time they made him wear a dress.
You see anything?
Yep. One fine ass motherfucker with pretty new eyelashes.
One more time!
You see anything?
Yep.
In no universe did this guy make a convincing gay black man besides in Hollywood. Apparently the message is black dudes who grew up in the hood can be gay too. Yeah, no shit. But is it so common that we gotta get reminded of it again and again? I swear if Boys in the Hood was released today, Ice Cube's character would be a misunderstood gangster who yearns to wear a dress. Because we cannot have a masculine black man anymore. Can we?
And we wouldn't want that now, would we? Would we? Would we?
Black men aren't only cast like this in hood movies, it's common in other genres too. In the 2019 super woke Watchmen series, Hooded Justice is a black superhero with a family who gets betrayed by Captain Metropolis, a white superhero he's having an affair with.
Something tells me they have a lot in common. Good evening, Mrs. Reeves.
That's gay. We're gay.
In Eternals, Phastos is shown with an Arab husband. Hollywood would have you believe that this is an honest attempt at diversity and representation, but making most black characters gay is just an easier way for them to check off their inclusivity checkbox by killing two birds with one stone.
You guys did that?
I love you so much.
Killing two birds with one stone.
You looking for a score tonight?
What? A score? Yo, come on, man.
Keep your hands on the car. Do not move.
Yo, but come on. Why you messing up my car?
Just listen to him, Khalil.
Like the section on black male characters being gay, this one is a sensitive topic, but it cannot be ignored. The last few years, woke Hollywood's idea of diversity and representation for black characters, specifically men, has been producing stories where they're defined by their race and not character. When they're not being portrayed as struggling with their sexuality or used for comedic relief, they're dealing with economic hardships, racism, police brutality, and social injustice. Obviously, these are real-life issues, but to assume that every black man experiences this is ignorant and actually offensive. There are plenty of black men who are not facing any of these issues, but their stories are not what woke Hollywood wants to focus on. They would rather tell a story if you're a black guy, you're consistently living in a life of fear, depression, and paranoia. Take 2021's Candyman again. We see the male lead, Anthony McCoy, an artist, have his work criticized by a white woman for having too much of an urban touch.
Go ahead, open it.
The box. You opened it. Word speaks for itself.
No, it speaks, all right. Using didactic knee-jerk cliches about the ambient violence of the gentrification cycle.
Basically, the message here is no matter how much of a black man strives for success, he will always be put down due to his race. Race literally defines Anthony's arc. Candyman is just an irrelevant backdrop. Throughout the film, we get scenes like him randomly hiding from the police, like he's fucking Adrian Brody dodging Nazis in The Pianist. By the end, Candyman finally shows up, but it is symbolic of every black man who has ever dealt with injustice.
I am the writing on the walls. I am the sweet smell of blood on the street, the buzz that echoes in the alleyways. They will say I shed innocent blood. You are far from innocent.
Tell everyone.
Seriously, do the filmmakers really think that the world works this way? Police brutality is a real thing, but Hollywood makes you think it's the norm. Like every single police officer is out hunting black men.
See, it used to be we could beat up minorities and nobody cared. It's the reason a lot of us joined the force.
It's as if Hollywood is selling to black audiences that their lives are constantly in danger, when all they want to do is fucking watch a movie and relax.
All this is race baiting and selling the same fear that mainstream media sells to the masses. Get Out was a critically acclaimed flick from 2017, which touched on modern day social and political issues, but it also over-exaggerated scenes to try and prove its points. In one scene, a patrol officer asks Chris for his license despite his girlfriend Rose doing the driving.
Sir, can I see your license, please?
Wait, why?
Yeah, I have state ID.
No. He wasn't driving.
I didn't ask who was driving. I asked to see his ID.
Apparently Jordan Peele doesn't understand how the law works. Then you got this scene.
What?
Do they know I'm black?
Oh God. So the fuck what? Jordan Peele literally littered this movie with racial paranoia. Hell, even when you try to watch a Marvel movie with a black superhero, you get scenes such as this one.
Is there a problem here? No, we're just talking. We're fine. Can I see your ID? I don't have ID. Why? Just calm down. I am calm. What do you want? Give him your ID. No, I'm not giving him shit. We're just talking. Hey, look, is this guy bothering you? No, he's not bothering me. Do you know who this is?
Holy fucking shit. Even a comic book superhero show is not spared from this theme. Falcon is a fucking Avenger who helped save the universe from Thanos, yet his character is reduced to the stereotypical role that Hollywood loves to portray black men in, an oppressed minority who faces social injustice, especially racism from the police. It's a fucking superhero show. We just want to see him kick some ass. Woke Hollywood loves to show black folks as oppressed and always struggling. Hollywood, not every person of color has to be defined by this. It's almost like they're purposefully planting negative thoughts into the minds of black audiences so that they would resent white people. This is a misrepresentation of minorities via stereotypes. Imagine being a Japanese American and seeing these writers and directors mention Japanese internment camps during World War II or the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki every time a Japanese character was on camera. You'd feel pretty down watching that shit. As a Japanese American, you would probably grow tired of those themes and want to remind the world that your people are more than that. Hollywood is virtue signaling at the expense of stereotyping black and brown characters.
Don't move. Don't move. Central, we the suspect. What? He's got a weapon. No, just stay where you're at. You got the wrong guy. Stop resisting. Copy that. This isn't the suspect. He's not the mugger.
You obviously do not know who you are fucking with.
In our past videos, Ollie and I like to point out how past films and shows did it better, but this time we'll have to keep it real and show that wasn't always the case in regards to black and brown characters. But as time went on, they did a much better job overall than what you're seeing produced by today's woke Hollywood. For every drag-wearing character like the Fifth Element's Ruby Rod,
This boy is fused like fire. So start melting, ladies, because the boy is hotter than hot. He's hot.
Or Token Black Guy.
I am the token black guy. I'm just supposed to smile, stay out of the conversation, and say things like, damn, shit, and that is whack.
You've got kick-ass ones too, like Childs in The Thing, portrayed by Keith David.
He ain't tying me up.
Then I'll have to kill you, child.
Then kill me.
He held his own alongside Kurt Russell. The dude wasn't written as a black man who's facing racism and poverty. He was a man, like everyone else on that research facility in Antarctica, trying to survive in the midst of an attack from an unknown predator from space. Today you remember him as a great character, not just a great black character. Lawrence Fishburne's character, Jason, in 1991's Boys in the Hood, was a legendary father figure whose stoic and masculine presence guided his son son Trey towards not becoming a victim of the hood.
All of my friends was dropping out of high school, hanging out on corners, in front of liquor stores, getting drunk, getting high. Some of them was robbing people. Some of them was even killing people. Anyway, I wanted to be somebody you could look up to.
The film didn't portray them as hopeless victims of the evil white man. There was more depth to this character than just race-based. He's the type of father that's a good role model to kids of any and all races or backgrounds. The 1970s sitcom Good Times also serves as a great example of a strong father figure in John Amos' character James Evans. He was a hard-working man who protected and provided for his family while living in the projects of Chicago.
We got business with the warlord. Boy, I don't give a damn who you got business with. My son ain't going to no gang fight. I'm Mad Dog, dig it?
Is that supposed to be something big?
You heard what I said. Mad Dog, you don't get your hand out my wife's face, I'm gonna slap a muzzle on you.
Unfortunately, the show also serves as an example of how the past didn't always do it better. James Evans was killed off after the 3rd season in favor of JJ's goofy character getting to say his famous catchphrase 97,000 times more.
Dino, shut the fuck up!
That said, today we have an overwhelming amount of emasculated black men on the big and small screens compared to the past.
And in regards to themes about race relations, 1982's 48 Hours wasn't afraid to take the issue of racial tensions and add some comedy to it. Both Nick Nolte and Eddie Murphy's characters played wonderfully off of each other. Both had flaws and redeeming qualities. Both men did something better than the other. Its themes of race are relatable to this day, but it's certainly not how woke Hollywood would approach it if this film were to be made today.
God damn, look at all that dust on my car. Why the fuck don't he take it to a car wash?
I didn't know you darker people went in for foreign jobs.
Yeah, well, I had no choice. Some white asshole bought the last piece of shit sky blue Cadillac.
The original Night of the Living Dead has the iconic lead character of Ben, played by the late Dwayne Jones. He's a resourceful, brave, stoic leader. He's trapped in a house with a bunch of white folks, and everyone follows his lead except the stubborn Cooper. Racism is a subtext of this film, but it doesn't overshadow the movie's premise. Ben isn't emasculated or belittled in order to prove a point.
I don't want anyone's life on my hands. I don't want to hear any more from you, mister. If you stay up here, you take orders from me!
These are more effective characters than the stereotypical roles we see Hollywood push out today in the name of false diversity and representation.
Now's his age. Age he was in a room with us. I was in the fucking jungle. So what do you think? I think that whole generation's a bunch of pussies.
And with that said, we want to conclude this video and our entire channel because we're getting cancelled.
Well, Ollie, it was fun while it lasted.
Goodbye forever, everybody, and may the force be with you all.
Fuck off. Nah. You see, the purpose of this video is to shine a light on how black male characters are simply beholden to weird standards by modern films. Instead of seeing black male characters as human beings who are just like you and me, with their own skills, hopes, fears, characteristics, and personalities, they are instead lumped into some tropes of oppression, resentfulness, and race-defined nonsense. Add on top of that some weird fascination liberals have with black males being feminine and exploiting their sexuality, and you've made yourself a storm of bullshit.
And there's nothing wrong with saying this. In 2023, we just want to see more black males get accurate representation, to be defined by their personalities and characters, and not just by their race, or to be used to send some message. And there's no shortage of black actors who could pull these roles off today. I tell ya, if there's anything black actors should be angry about, it's not the lack of representation, but the lack of accurate representation. One where they have personalities beyond the color of their skin, just like you and me. And like we said before, it's not that racism, gay black people, or the comedic beta male doesn't exist. But why do these have to be the main roles that black men get cast in? Why is liberal Hollywood so afraid of black masculinity? That's what it comes off as when they soften his image. They're promoting the black man that's acceptable to them, and that's the ironic thing about this whole thing. Modern Hollywood swears that they're promoting diversity and representation, but they're doing it through means of stereotypes and racism on their part. How could they not see this? Oh well, what do you expect from a place which houses some of the most privileged pricks on the face of the earth?
Do you hear that, Ollie?
Yeah, I do.
Come on, dinner!
We're coming, Ma. Ugh.
We have to meet certain diversity requirements. And after an exhaustive search, I found the perfect candidate. He's a diversity double whammy.
It's magic!
He's
Oh God! Stay calm, team, please. Chips. It's just chips.
Oh,
he's gay.
Hot dog! Oh gosh, oh boy.
Oh. You're hired.